Hey guys, it's Cece, and today I am here to talk about the books that I'm planning to read in the month of August. So we're a little bit into August. This TBR is coming a little bit late, but I still have a ton of reading plans that I wanted to be able to share with all of you. The first thing that you should know is that I am participating in a month-long reading challenge called Arc August. This is a challenge that happens every single August that was originally created, I believe, by Read, Sleep, Repeat. I'm gonna go ahead and link the blog and sign up down in the description below if you want to check it out, but basically a thing that a lot of bloggers and booktubers and bookstagrammers do in August is we try to get through our arcs or advanced reader copies. So that is a main goal that I am trying to accomplish in August, as well as a rereading plan that didn't quite get wrapped up in July, so I'm still working on it. That reading challenge was a challenge for myself to reread the Harry Potter series. I didn't quite get through all of the books in July. The reading rush just kind of took over my life at the end of the month there, but I am almost done with A Goblet of Fire, and then I have 5, 6, and 7 to get through as well. I am working on getting through these as fast as I can, but considering I'm also attempting to move, less reading is happening overall. This is something that I'm trying to accomplish though, and I'm super excited to continue to make my reading vlogs that I've been working on with these books, and I hope that you are all excited to watch those, because more are happening. The other thing that I have to make sure to mention is my lovely patrons over at my Patreon. Every single month my patrons get to choose a book that I read. I want to thank my patrons so much for their continued support. It has meant the world to me. It has made my day-to-day life so much easier, and I value every single one of my patrons. But I wanted to give a special shout out to my librarian patrons who are my patrons at the highest level. Those librarian patrons are Shadow, Babette, Christine, Rebecca, and Rox at aspiring_Rox on Twitter and Instagram. Thank you all so much for continuing to help make this channel possible. I appreciate you all very, very much. But the reason that I am talking about these patrons is so that I can let you know what the patron-chosen book is for August. And since it is Arc August, I decided to let my patrons choose between a bunch of arcs I currently have, and the book that they chose for me to read is How to Be Remy Camryn by Julian Winters. This is a book that is coming out in September 10th. I feel like a ton of people have been so highly anticipating this book, especially after everyone really loved Julian's last book, Running with Lions, which I read earlier this year. This book is about a boy named Remy Camryn who feels like there are so many definitions that have been put on him by others, and then he gets the chance to write an essay about himself, and he goes on sort of an exploration journey about who Remy Camryn is underneath all of these labels. He's black, he's gay, he's adopted, but what is he beyond all of these things and including all of these things? I have been really excited about this book. This is a signed arc. In case you didn't watch my Book Expo haul, I met Julian at Book Expo and he signed this copy, and I'm really excited to read his book. I have 4 other arcs that I'm going to specifically mention. First of all, Tarnished Are the Stars. This is by Rosie Thor, and it is being released on October 15th. I am currently reading this book. I started reading it in June and then had to set it aside for some other reading plans, but I definitely want to get back into it. This is a book about a girl with a clockwork heart, and there's some political intrigue, plus a female-female romance, and an Arrow Ace boy. So, very, very eager to get back into this sci-fi world full of queer characters. As far as the other 3 arcs, I have not started these yet. They're all super short, but I can't wait for all of these. So I think I'm going to do this by release date. So the first book I have is a book that has already been released, and that is This Is How You Lose the Time War by Amal, El-Mohtar, and Max Gladstone. This book was released in July, but I just barely got sent the arc as part of an Arcs for Trade. I recently was trading away a bunch of my arcs on Twitter, and I was super, super thrilled to receive this. This is a book that is in letters, and it is about 2 rival agents on opposite sides of a vast time war. And these 2 agents, one of them mistakenly reads a letter, and the 2 of them start up a correspondence and then slowly sort of start to fall for each other. But both of these people are girls. This is a female-female romance. This is adult fiction, by the way, so super thrilled about that. Basically, from the moment I found out this was queer, I was like, put it into my hands immediately. And, wouldn't you know it, it's in my hands now. And the next book I have is a book that is being released in September, on September 10th, and that is Pet by Akaeke Emezi. This is a book that I also grabbed at Book Expo, so is the last one I'm going to talk about. When I grabbed this book, it was mainly because I wanted to read a book by a Black non-binary author, which I thought was, like, already such a great reason to pick up a new YA story, but it turns out that the main character of this book is a trans girl, so again, super thrilled to have some trans rep heading into the second half of 2019. This is a YA book set in a world where all of the children in this city have been told that monsters don't exist anymore, and then the main character, Jam, discovers a monster, and she sort of has to answer the question for herself, how do you defeat a monster when no one will listen to you that they exist anymore? I really wanted to read other books by Emezi, which is why I was interested in this newest book. So as soon as I read this, if I love it, I definitely want to check out Freshwater, but until then, definitely keep an eye out for this one, everybody, because trans rep, there's a Black trans girl at the center of this YA novel. Oh my god. And the final book I have is being released on October 29th, and that is Full Disclosure by Camryn Garrett. This is a book about a teen who was born HIV positive, and it is just mostly about her sort of navigating what that means for herself. I think that this is a really interesting concept for a YA book, and it is ground that I haven't really seen covered in YA stories before. Plus, Camryn Garrett is a wonderful presence online. Plus, I recently found out that the main character of this book, Simone, is questioning whether or not she might be bisexual, so there is that as well. This is a book that a ton of people are anticipating this year. I think it has one of the most gorgeous covers of 2019, and hopefully I'm going to get to it before the end of August. Okay, friends, that is it. Those are all of the books that are on my current August TBR plans. What do you think of this TBR? Are there any books that catch your eye? And are you super anticipating any of these releases? Let me know. Plus, be sure to let me know what book you are most excited to read in the month of August. I would love to hear some new titles. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in another video very soon. Bye!